difference a day makes compared to yesterday? What do you feel on that today than yesterday?
Name it. It's better today than yesterday. And yesterday was, I prefer to turn the page on it, but it was probably the most miserable day of the season I've had. So, for a number of reasons, but today was much better. Guys came out with energy today. Got solid pitching. You know, I think arguably today was probably the most complete game we played, and certainly quite a while, maybe the year. Great defense, threw runners out, executed hit and runs, put together pretty good at bats for the most part, top to bottom. So that's a little bit better brand of baseball.
How do you think that first inning set the tone for it?
It's obviously nice to be on top five, to start a game. So, was happy the way they came out and responded to the game from yesterday, and they bounced back very well today and gave us an opportunity to win a series tomorrow.
How do you roll this over this complete performance that it's kind of been hard to come by? How do you roll it over into tomorrow and the rest of the season?
Continue to try to coach them and breathe life into them, and confidence, and do all the things that we can to continue to making them believe they're good players and that we can do this thing. We just gotta focus on the things that that are important and not worry about the external distractions that we're hearing, and just go stick with us and go play baseball.
Coach, on a night where your bullpen seemed to be taxed after last night using 6 arms, how fulfilling was it to have Connor and Hunter be able to go out and not only be able to secure you guys a win, be able to hold off the lead, but also to get life for you guys?
I mean, that's what we aspire to do. His arms is you want to try to go with your best arms, especially when you have the lead, and those guys able to wrap up a game with just those two. It was great. We were able to preserve Schieffer and Carlone and Giblin, Matty T, and those guys. We were able to preserve them for tomorrow. So that was a good job by both of those guys to give us what they got. Connor wasn't as sharp as he has been in the past, but was able to get some double play balls, and hats off to our middle infield for turning a couple really nice double plays tonight. And like I said, Campy for throwing out a couple runners on down ball reads and scramble drill and getting up and putting the ball on the money at second. Those are huge plays. So, like I said, all around good job.
Obviously a loss like that comes last night is pretty demoralizing for the team. Just with the emotions that come with that, how did you guys feel like you regrouped to maybe put those kind of to the side to make sure you guys were able to go out today with a win?
I mean, we addressed it. I mean, what's not to address with that? That was an embarrassing day for a lot of people yesterday, and for me, I'll be the pincushion. I'll wear it. It's on me. But at the end of the day, we're fighters in here. We aren't going to quit. We're going to keep pouring everything we can into these guys and keep coaching them. And I just am extremely proud of the way they responded today. That's what guys that are competitive and have a competitive nature do. And I was extremely happy with how they turned the page on yesterday and came back out today and played arguably their best game of the year.
We heard a lot last night about the plate approach and how it needed to change. Do you feel it changed enough tonight? Obviously, a lot more offense.
Well, here's the difference. Like, we squared more balls up tonight. The approach didn't change. Everybody wants to get on us yesterday for that guy throwing a 82 pitch complete game against us, right? And we were aggressive last night, and the guy kept us off the barrel, so it looked really bad. Today we were equally as aggressive, but we just were able to square things up, and no one's complaining about that. So bottom line is the results-oriented people out there are happy. We're just going to continue with the process of being aggressive, getting your pitch, and putting your better swings early in the count would be something I would emphasize more than the aggressiveness. I like our guys being aggressive, but it's making sure the swings they're taking are not contact swings. They're actually trying to do damage with those swings early in the count. So to me, it was a much better job of squaring balls up earlier in the count today.
how do you foresee Mario Demera's load increasing with the way he's been playing lately, and also with the loss of Contrada this season?
Well, I mean, that's been, Mario played a significant amount here the past 2 or 3 weeks. He's been mixing in quite a bit over there at third base, and we've been running our infielders out there pretty much every day. We've been trying to mix our outfielders up. With just the amount of numbers we have in the outfield and guys that are playing, Kian Vu and Harris Williams, Isaiah, Nick McLean and Compton, trying to mix him out there with the DH spot and Toby at first, and getting all those guys in. It's tough when you only got 3 outfield spots, but on the infield we're pretty thin. We don't have many infielders. Trey Newman's hounding me he wants to play infield now too. So, Trey's actually serviceable out there. So who knows? Maybe one day we'll get him out there. But bottom line is those guys are going to play, and they're going to have to run out there. Ondina and Demera, Carstetter, and those guys with the injuries we have. We're getting Mendoza. Those guys are going to have to play a lot here down the stretch.
How valuable has it been to get Carstetter back in the past couple of games, and the spark he's been able to plug in a lot of the couple of extra base hits? Yeah,
he's been swinging a fresh bat. He's had 3 weeks off, or 3 or 4 weeks off, where he's kind of been, had to get some health issues cleared, before he could play again. So, but with that, is he comes back swinging a fresh bat that's not tired, and it's a nice shot to the arm for our lineup.
What's the update you can give us on Mendoza? Obviously, wasn't in the lab tonight. Can you insinuate he might be injury related?
No. He's not injured. He needed a mental day. Needed a breather today, and we wanted to mix in Mario and keep him sharp, and he responded with a great day. So, right now going with the guys that hey, you have a hot day like today, you're probably going to find yourself in there tomorrow. So, and if that, trying to find ways to continue to spark this team and go with the hot hand as we're going down the stretch.
What's the plan of attack on the mound tomorrow with all those rested arms?
We're going to go kind of check the matchups here, and we got options. Carlone, Matt Teeding, Jonah Giblin, even toyed with the idea maybe starting Schiefer, and not waiting to go to him out of the pen. Maybe just run him out there from the beginning. So we'll see. That's certainly an option, but we want to strategically try to do it to where we can win a game, put us in the best chance to win a game tomorrow.
Kian told us just before he came in that tonight was a much more fun night in the dugout and the clubhouse than it has been the last few days, probably the last week and a half. Is that something that just is so evident, that was A, so evident tonight, and then B, just necessary for this team to see going forward, just that positivity?
That's how it's supposed to be. So I don't know. I mean, people can point fingers and do whatever they want, but that baseball is meant to be played with energy and fun, and getting after it. It's not meant to be played tight and nervous and quiet and in the doldrums and not supporting your teammates. That's a BS way to play. And we addressed it today, and at the end of the day, it's on those guys. Got to create the energy. I'm not going to be down there cheerleading. That's not my role. My job is to get them ready to play, and then they go play. But the energy's got to be there, and the body language and the effort level, all that stuff is non-negotiable. We have to play with that type of stuff. And if we don't, then we got to find new guys that will. And that's what this program deserves. Is the wins and losses are one thing, but if you don't go play with energy and a pride in this place, then you're in the wrong spot. So we emphasized that today, and again, I was proud of the way they responded, and that's one. Now we got to continue with every game from here on out. That you go play with energy and a pride that you enjoy to be here and want to play the game. So play with the joy that we had when we were kids. Go out and play and enjoy it.
You talked about yesterday about wanting to focus back in on the fundamentals and making the routine plays. With 3 errors yesterday and then multiple double plays turned tonight, diving play by McLean in right field, what would you dice up to the difference in defensive success tonight out there?
I mean, it starts with focus, I think, but just reminding these guys that we as a coaching staff are not asking them to do something that they're not capable of doing. Focus on the routine plays and turn to double play. That's any manager in the big leagues or in college or high school, that should be the emphasis of your infielders. Make the routine and turn the double play. That's all we ask you. We don't ask you to make highlight reel plays. Just make the routine ones. And they did tonight. They did an outstanding job of that tonight.
Campbell's had obviously the double in the first inning, and it really kind of lifted the floodgates on the scoring. Just for that momentum, like how kind of a big play was that for a swing, especially from a guy like Campbell's who was kind of perceived as one of the leaders in the clubhouse?
It was big just to put it to rest. The offense is here to play tonight, and we were able to, get a sac fly from Mac right after that and get on the board. That was big, and then we continued to start the rally after that. So Toby got on, and Compton and Carstetter to double, and away we went. So, that was big just to kind of get us on the board and get things going.
As a former infielder yourself, how do you evaluate the line between not trying to press and do too much and go beyond making the routine play?
Well, obviously you're out there trying to make every play, but we got to make the routine plays every time. Like that's why they're routine. I'm not saying you can't make an error every once in a while. We're human. They're human. It's going to happen. But the emphasis has to be on make the basic routine plays and make them right, and turn double plays. Those you can see how important it is when you have an opportunity to turn a double play to get it done. It takes our pitchers off the hook, and it eliminates any sort of rally that they got going. And I don't know how many we turned tonight, 4, I think. Those all came in key situations to put rallies to rest and reset it with nobody on base and 2 outs or end of the inning double plays. Like those are momentum changers. And again, that's why we emphasize that.
What's your worry level with Harris's struggles at the plate recently?
I'm sorry, my what?
What's your worry level with Harris's struggles at the plate recently?
Well, I mean, that wasn't a result of anything more than I wanted to keep Lance fresh, and get him another at bat and get Isaiah in the game and get his defense in the game late. So, Harris isn't as swinging the bat as well as he was early on, but still believe in him. Still think kid's a good hitter. He's a table setter. But like I said, man, we got several guys chomping at the bit that we're trying to mix in there and keep fresh and keep going and go with the hot bat. So I don't mean it to be, if you don't get 2 hits, you're not starting the next day. No, I mean we're trying to play matchups and keep those guys. All those guys are good players, and we got to get them in the lineup somewhere and keep them fresh. So we're gonna need hot bats going down the end of this thing.
Utah is one of the better programs in the conference, just with stolen bases, getting guys and Campos has done a good job with that this weekend so far. What do you feel like has kind of contributed to him doing a better job of getting the ball down the second base and getting some of those outs?
I think a couple things. I think our pitchers have done a better job holding the runners. They don't get enough credit for the work they put in and holding runners and working on their pickoff moves that we've at times had trouble with this year. But I think that, and then just the scramble that he's been able to do when he does block a ball and guys are trying to get down. Utah does a very aggressive team with down ball reads. Campy's done a great job of blocking and scrambling and getting up and being accurate and handling the baseball. So, and then obviously the one bright spot I mentioned yesterday was the double steal that we were able to pull off where Campy threw a strike down to second, tag, and Ondina threw a strike back to home plate and tag. So, we work on that a lot, and it was nice to see that one play yesterday come to fruition. But Campy, as of late, he's done an outstanding job.
Kind of back to the slumps. It feels like a good amount of those guys have gone through some kind of slump at some point this season. How do you, as a coach, try to help them through that with some of the guys who did it early in the season? Now Harris and even Nick have started to go a little bit soft.
Back to the basics. If you don't have a clear head and you're not swinging at strikes, don't ask me about anything else. So it's usually one of those first 2 things is the problem. So again, I've been very adamant that I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel and recoin how to hit. It's very basic stuff, man. If you don't have a clear head and you're not swinging at strikes, don't talk to me about technique or something you're doing wrong or getting off the backside. It's like, okay, clear your head and swing at strikes. That usually cures a lot of things. So if you can answer me honestly on those two things, that yes, I have a clear head and yes, I'm swinging at strikes, then we'll look at mechanics. But usually those are one of those first two things is the problem.
Although a lot more hard hit balls tonight, did you notice an adjustment just approach-wise in terms of the 2-out hitting and the situational runner in scoring position as far as their approach and their at-bats and not trying to either do too much or a lack of focus?
I think we did a much better job of getting the ball up in the zone today and not chasing trick pitches down in the zone. I think to me, that's the biggest thing. The kid yesterday was very good at that. Living at the bottom of the zone, out of the zone, bottom of the zone, out of the zone, and we fished for it all night, and that's why we didn't have success. Today we were able to get the ball up in the zone, and we were able to have a much better night.